Let's step back, shall we? To the spring of 2005, when Elena was just 18, a wide-eyed freshman at the University of Washington, her sketchbook tucked under one arm like a shield against the world's sharp edges. Seattle was alive then. Emerald greens peeking through the perpetual drizzle, coffee shops buzzing with poets and dreamers. Elena had come from a small town in eastern Washington, where the wheat fields stretched like golden promises, but her soul yearned for color. Art was her rebellion. Charcoal portraits that captured the flicker of unspoken sorrows, watercolors that bled like fresh wounds. That's where she met Marcus, in the student union, over lukewarm lattes and debate club flyers. He was 20, a junior with tousled brown hair, wire-rimmed glasses that made him look like a young professor, and a laugh that rolled like thunder over the Cascades. Engineering major, he called himself a builder of futures. They bonded over late-night study sessions in the library's dim alcoves, where he'd trace her sketches with his finger and say, "Elena, this is magic. You see the soul in things." She'd blush, tucking a curl behind her ear, and reply, "And you build the bones that hold it up." It was poetry, pure and unscarred. Their first date was impulsive, a ferry ride to Bainbridge Island. The Salish Sea, whipping salt, spray across their faces as they shared a blanket and dreams. "I'll design the tallest bridge in the world," he'd vow, eyes on the horizon. "And I'll paint the sunset on it," she'd counter, her head on his shoulder. By summer's end, they were inseparable. Graduation came. He with a job at a mid-tier firm, she with a portfolio that landed her a spot at a local gallery internship. They married in a backyard ceremony under a canopy of dogwoods, vows exchanged like brushstrokes. "I promise to support your dreams," he said. "And I yours," she whispered. No mention of obedience then, just love, raw and reaching. The early years were a masterpiece. They bought the Craftsman bungalow in Capitol Hill with a down payment scraped from ramen noodles and overtime. Elena curated her first solo show at 25, whispers of the everyday, portraits of strangers on buses, their eyes holding stories of quiet triumphs. Marcus cheered from the front row, bouquet in hand, toasting her with cheap champagne. "To my artist," he'd say, pulling her close. Jamie arrived first, a squalling bundle with Elena's curls and Marcus's stubborn chin, born on a stormy July night that flooded the streets but filled their home with light. Sophie followed 3 years later, a February firecracker who entered the world demanding attention, her cries like a siren's call. Money grew with them. Marcus's designs won bids, elegant spans over the Duwamish, sustainable marvels that earned him a corner office by 30. Elena balanced gallery shifts with motherhood, her hobby commissions funding family trips, a cabin in the Olympics where they'd roast marshmallows and tell ghost stories, or beachcombing at Deception Pass, pockets full of agates like stolen jewels. Life was a canvas, broad and bright, but darlings, every masterpiece has its underlayer, the shadows the artist blends in for depth. Marcus's shadows started as whispers. It crept in around year 10, when the promotions stacked like Jenga blocks, teetering higher. "Elena, that exhibit? It's charming, but clients ask about you. What's the wife do?" I say homemaker, but really? His tone was light, but his eyes scanned her like blueprints for flaws. She laughed it off, stirring pasta sauce while Jamie practiced soccer in the yard. "Art is my work, Marcus. It pays the preschool bills." But the seed was planted. "Obey," it murmured. "Obey the image of the perfect wife." The demands escalated like a rising tide. "Obey the budget, Elena. No more art supplies this month. We need that new suit for the gala." Obey when she wanted a weekend art retreat in the San Juans. "The kids need you here. Family first. Obey. During arguments, his voice rising like storm clouds. Just listen to me for once. I'm building our future. She'd bite her tongue, sketching in secret after bedtime, her lines sharper, angrier. The kids felt it too. Jamie at 8 once asked, "Mom, why does Dad say obey like it's a game?" Sophie, ever the empath, would hug Elena's legs. "Don't obey if it makes you sad, Mommy." By year 15, the perfume lingered on his collars like accusations unspoken. Late nights at the office stretched to dawn returns, excuses flimsier than rice paper. Elena buried it in busyness, volunteering at the kids' school, expanding her online shop to Rosebridge Creations, an LLC she'd filed quietly, funneled through a P.O. box. What began as Etsy listings for custom portraits ballooned, a viral series of hidden strength women commissioned by a tech CEO for $5K. Then investments, advised by Lila, a gallery patron turned confidant over post-show wines. Elena, diversify. Stocks, real estate. You're not just an artist, you're a force. By 35, Rosebridge hummed at 800K, a secret symphony Marcus never heard. The anniversary, our 20th as I said, cracked the frame. Elena had poured her soul into it. Reservations at La Vita, the waterfront gem with violinists and views of ferries ghosting into dusk. She'd framed that old sketch, the one from their college days, and hidden notes in his briefcase. "Remember us? Let's dance again." The kids helped bake the cake, chocolate-frosted hearts. But 5 p.m. brought the text. Board overruns, rain check. "Love you. Love you." 2 words, hollow as a drum. She rallied the children. Movie night with popcorn forts and The Princess Bride. But inside, the fracture widened. Sophie yawned mid-scene. "Where's Daddy's night?" Jamie shrugged. "Probably building a boring bridge." Elena forced a smile, but tears pricked as the credits rolled. Bedtime stories blurred, her voice cracking on the dragon's defeat. Alone in the kitchen, she washed dishes by moonlight, suds like clouds over her clenched fists. That's when the phone buzzed. Not Marcus, but a gallery alert. Another commission accepted. $10K wired to Rosebridge. A sign, or just salt in the wound? Jamie's play was the spark to the powder keg. Rehearsals had lit the boy's face for months. Lines memorized over breakfast, costumes sewn by Elena's steady hands. Marcus swore, "Front row, buddy. Dad's your biggest fan." Opening night, the auditorium thrummed with proud parents, the air thick with hairspray and anticipation. Elena sat centered, program clutched like a talisman, heart swelling as the curtain rose. Jamie as Sir Galen, sword aloft, voice steady. "For honor and hearth." The dragon fell in a tumble of felt and foam. Applause erupted like fireworks. She searched the crowd mid-curtain call. Rows of beaming faces, but no Marcus. Text, "Traffic apocalypse, killed me." Proud of him, though. Proud. From afar. The drive home blurred through tears. She blinked back, kids recounting every sword swing. Pulling into the driveway, his Audi sat pristine, engine cooling. 9 to 15 p.m. Lies layered like varnish overwrought. Tucking them in. Kisses on foreheads, promises of ice cream tomorrow. Elena descended the stairs, feet silent on the wool runner. The study door ajar, golden light spilling like spilled secrets. Voices, his low rumble, hers a silvery trill that twisted Elena's gut. Vanessa, the assistant who'd helped with his last project, blonde, 28, all LinkedIn polish and Lululemon sheen. Laughter bubbled, then hushed intimacy. "Marcus, that play? Your kid's cute, but really, when do we make this official?" Elena's clinging, always questioning. A pause, papers rustling. Then Marcus, voice stripped bare. Vanessa, patience. She's refusing to obey. Wants that damn exhibit next month. Time away with the brats. Thinks her doodles pay bills. But the prenup's airtight. House, accounts, all mine. Sign tomorrow and poof, she's out. You in? Full obedience, no questions. Footsteps. His, approaching the door. Elena backed into shadow, pulse thundering like hooves. The knob turned. Marcus, tie loosened, shirt untucked, cologne mingling with her floral perfume. Vanessa behind, wine glass in hand, their vintage Cabernet, Elena's anniversary gift. Elena, he startled, then schooled his face to concern. You're early. How was the play? Early, the word ignited her. Jamie's lines were perfect. He slayed the dragon, alone. Her voice, a wire pulled taut. Vanessa smirked from the threshold, swirling her glass. Oh, family night? We were just debriefing the merger. Merger. The euphemism landed like a slap. Marcus stepped forward, hand on Elena's arm. Possessive, placating. Babe, sit. This isn't what it looks. But she wrenched free, eyes locking on the couch. Rumpled throw pillows. A stray earring glinting like a traitor's flag. Isn't it? Or is it exactly what you've been building? Bridges to her bed while I hold the home front. Words tumbled, sharp as shattered glass. Vanessa tittered, and Marcus flushed crimson. Elena, lower your voice. The kids, she echoed, venom sweet, who waited for their father like fools. Obey, right? That's your creed. Well, consider this my resignation. She stormed upstairs, slamming the guest room door. A sanctuary of lavender linens and unread novels. Curled under quilts, sobs racked her until dawn's gray light. But as birdsong pierced the curtains, rage coalesced. No more canvas for his strokes. Time to paint her own masterpiece. Bold, unyielding. Morning broke with forced normalcy. Elena brewed coffee strong as resolve. Packed Marcus's lunch, prosciutto wrap, extra mustard, petty poetry, and kissed the kids awake. School today, heroes. Mommy's got errands. Their chatter buoyed her to the Volvo. But instead of the lawyer he'd demand, she veered downtown to Lila's office in the Pike Place Warren, fishmonger's calls echoing like ironic fanfare. Lila, 50s with silver-streaked bob and eyes like polished obsidian, ushered her in. Elena, you look like you wrestled a kraken. Over herbal tea, chamomile for her, black for the storm, Elena spilled the affair, the obedience litany, the prenup trap. Lila nodded, no pity, just steel. First assets. Rosebridge stands at 2.3 mil. Cash, equities, that Portland condo you forgot you own. Joints? We've mirrored them quietly. Pull the lever and they're ice. Elena's hands trembled on the mug. And the house? Deed stool, but mortgage? Your hobby funds cleared it 3 years back. Yours. The plan unfurled like a battle map. Freeze joints at 10 a.m. Transfer house via quit claim, irrevocable. Custody, Elena's domain. Support calibrated to her income, not his facade. Then the blade. Marcus's firm. Rumors of skimmed bids. Your anonymous tip last month. It triggered the audit. Vanessa's emails? We have copies. Her forging stamps for his kickbacks. Lila slid a folder. Timestamps, figures. 200K vanished into offshore whispers. Feds love this. 20 years minimum. Elena's breast hitched. Not just revenge, reckoning. Do it all. By 11 alerts pinged. Accounts locked. Deed filed. Lunch was with Carla Voss, attorney extraordinaire, ex-prosecutor, bob like a guillotine blade. In her waterfront high-rise views mocking Marcus's fallen empire, Carla dissected the prenup. His leverage? Smoke. Your disclosures? Nuclear. Will demand discovery. His phones, servers. And that embezzlement? Civil suit on top. He'll beg settlement. Elena signed, will steady. No mercy. Carla grinned wolfishly. None given. Home by 3, the air thick as custard. Marcus paced the kitchen, phone glued to ear. What do you mean frozen? Fix it. He whirled as she entered, eyes feral. Elena, undo this now. The divorce packet slapped the island. 50 pages of finality, asset splits carving him lean. Topped, a SEC referral, CC'd to his board. You bitch! The word hung, but she met it unflinching. Obey, Marcus. I obeyed silence too long. This? Your clean break. Shards and all. Vanessa slunk in from the patio, phone limp. Babe, my cards. Declined. At Sephora. Schadenfreude's gleam in Elena's eye. Testify, Vanessa. Supuinas en route. 20 years beats retail therapy. Chaos erupted. Marcus hurling accusations. You sneaky, how? A Vanessa wailing. This was our future. Porcelain shattering as he swept the counter. But Elena stood oak steady, voice a clarion. Out. Both. Police if needed. He lunged. Bluff. Not blow. But froze at her calm. Touch me, and assault joins the docket. The kids' bus rumbled up. Elena met them at the door, smiles armored. Rough day? Mine too. Pizza night? Jamie's eyes darted to the yelling shadows. Dad mad again? Sophie clutched her bear. Is the dragon back? Elena knelt, truths tempered. Dragons lose loves. We're the knights, together. Sirens wailed by dusk. Detectives for the audit, reporters scenting blood. Headlines by midnight. Engineering exec's empire crumbles in cheating scandal. Vanessa lawyered up, plea in hours. Marcus? Don Koflings, metaphors made metal, as feds led him away, police dissolving in rain. Elena, the kids, please, We can fix. The door clicked shut. Love? Controls corpse. Months wove gold from ash. House hers, walls repainted in saffron and teal, Elena's palette. Rosebridge soared, a Manhattan gallery deal, 500K advance. Jamie's art bloomed in her classes. Sophie's Knights Club rallied classmates against mean dragons. Theo entered softly, a patron at her opening, widower with kind hands and a sailboat. Paint the sea with me, he'd ask. Obey your heart, she'd whisper. One eve, 6 months on, Marcus called. Voicemail from a halfway house, voice gravel. Elena. Rock bottom, lost job, her pride. How'd you build that? Without me. Laughter bubbled, free as spring rain. By obeying the woman in the mirror, Marcus. You built chains. I forged wings. Fly or don't, that's your choice now.